One quiet night, a woman was working as a designated driver when she noticed two people sitting in the back seat being a little too close. Seeing that made her, as a single woman, feel a mix of awkwardness and frustration. Without thinking much, she suddenly hit the brakes and stopped the car. When the couple ignored her attempt to talk it out, she firmly decided to walk away. The man got out and asked her to continue the drive, but she calmly and confidently refused, insisting that he pay half of the driving fee. The man refused and even threatened to leave her a bad review. But this time, she didn't stay quiet. She took his wallet, grabbed the 10,000 yuan she had earned, and left. Still unable to hold back her anger, she kicked his car before walking away to vent her frustration. A little later, while waiting for a cab, she realized her phone was missing. That's when she remembered. She had left it in the man's car. At that very moment, the man was spending a romantic evening with another woman when his mood was suddenly ruined by a phone call. It was the female driver calling. The woman reluctantly answered, but the driver's tone made her uneasy. Upset, the driver kicked his car again, setting off the alarm. The sound drew the man downstairs, but by the time he got there, she had already disappeared. He noticed the woman's phone left behind, showing a missed call from a hospital. He began to realize the driver's father was seriously ill and had been hospitalized for a long time, unable to pay the mounting medical bills. She had begged the doctor to proceed with surgery, but the doctor had no choice but to refuse. Upon learning this, the man quietly paid the hospital expenses. When the driver found out, she was shocked and asked why he helped her. With a calm smile, he said, "I didn't do it to help you. I just don't want someone to die because of me." When she tried to get his contact information, promising she'd repay him someday, he declined, saying, "That little money is nothing to me and just enough to buy some candy. Consider it a donation to the poor." And with that, he left. The man's name was Run Cheng, a foreign-educated heiress who had returned home with a mission: revenge. To gather more information, she joined the communications department of Changhua Dai. Coincidentally, the driver, Jin Na, was also working there as a security guard. On her first day, Run Cheng mistakenly entered the wrong department and was scolded by her boss. Thankfully, her colleague Guang Zhu showed up and guided her in the right direction. As she was leaving, she happened to spot Jin Na and greeted her warmly, though Jin Na seemed a bit nervous and unsure how to respond. Later, while Jin Na was on a security assignment for the president's daughter, Run Cheng was secretly meeting a politician's mistress, trying to extract useful information from her. But when she learned that the mistress had already broken up with the politician, Run Cheng realized she was no longer of any use, so she calmly ended things between them. Throughout the episode, every scene adds layers of emotion. A woman struggling between dignity and survival, a man who still has compassion buried inside, and another woman quietly carrying the fire of revenge. Together, their stories intertwine, forming a slow, emotional web of fate, regret, and hidden motives waiting to unfold. The man wouldn't let her go so easily and began pestering her relentlessly. Just then, Run Cheng happened to bump into Jin Na on the street. To escape from the man's unwanted advances, Run Cheng deliberately greeted Jin Na and pretended to know her well. Jin Na was confused, and before she could react, Run Cheng suddenly pulled a sly move. She leaned forward and kissed her, pretending it was all natural. Jin Na kicked out in shock, but that only provoked the rich woman's retaliation. Still, Run Cheng handled it like a gentleman, politely rejecting the woman's anger, leaving her no choice but to walk away frustrated. Afterward, Jin Na stood there in a daze, her heart still fluttering from that unexpected moment. Run Cheng greeted her again, but she didn't respond at all, so Run Cheng calmly placed a check for 1 million on Jin Na's shoulder. Snapping back to her senses, Jin Na asked what it was for. Run Cheng replied, "That's your payment," and turned to leave gracefully. But in the next second, the situation flipped. Jin Na grabbed her from behind and threw her over her shoulder. She glared and said, "Just because you have money doesn't mean you can insult people." Then she tossed the check back at Run Cheng, adding, "Consider this your medical fee." Her reaction genuinely stunned the spoiled heiress, teaching her a valuable lesson in humility. The next day at work, Run Cheng purposely asked Jin Na to buy her coffee. Though reluctant, Jin Na did it respectfully. After all, Run Cheng had once paid her father's massive hospital bills. When she returned, she handed Run Cheng a small booklet and said, "Every time I run errands or drive for you, you stamp 1 mark here. After 200 stamps, my debt will be paid off." Run Cheng smiled and asked, "If you care so much about money, why didn't you take the check last night?" Jin Na replied, "Not everything can be solved with money," and even turned the question around, asking about what happened last night. Flustered, she quickly snatched the stamp, pressed it down on the page, and hurried away. Later, while practicing taekwondo together, Run Cheng couldn't help but laugh, irritating Jin Na even more. She threw Run Cheng to the ground, locked her arm in a crosshold, and made her yelp in pain. As Run Cheng begged for mercy, Jin Na tightened her grip, saying she'd show her what real strength felt like. But in the struggle, Run Cheng hooked her leg around Jin Na's, causing both to fall, and Jin Na twisted her ankle. Though it was unintentional, Run Cheng immediately carried Jin Na home. On the stairs, Jin Na stumbled again, so Run Cheng gently caught her from behind. Once home, Run Cheng said she was hungry and casually rummaged through the kitchen as if it were her own house. While eating instant noodles, she noticed the red slips of paper pasted all around the apartment. Curious, she asked and learned that Jin Na's mother had died in a car accident 10 years ago, and everything in the house had been mortgaged to the bank to cover her sick father's medical expenses. Those red slips were the bank's foreclosure notices. Yet despite it all, Jin Na had never let life break her spirit. Jin Na never let life defeat her. Instead, she faced it with even more optimism. She looked at Runcheng with bright confidence, her hopeful words deeply touching Runcheng's heart. She hadn't expected Jin Na to be such a hardworking and determined girl. The next morning, Jin Na was running late for work. Just then, Runcheng happened to drive by, and she quickly asked for a lift. But to her surprise, Runcheng coldly refused. "Really?" she muttered, half angry and half amused. "How dare this guy look down on me? If this turns into a misunderstanding, I'll make sure he regrets it." Left with no choice, she ran the rest of the way. Meanwhile, the president's daughter, Du Hui, stopped Runcheng's car and asked her to tutor her in studies, but Runcheng rudely refused. Actually, Du Hui was a huge fan of Runcheng and had always been trying to get close to her. Just then, Guangzhu arrived, pretending to be eager to help, boasting that she was great at every subject and could tutor anytime. Her bragging made Jin Na stifle a laugh, but Du Hui ignored Guangzhu completely and again pleaded for Runcheng to be her teacher. Runcheng calmly rejected her once more, saying, "You're still a high schooler, and besides, you're not really my type." Saying this, she hurried off, using work as an excuse, though Du Hui clearly didn't plan to give up. Later, Du Hui begged her mother, the first lady, to make Runcheng her tutor. With no choice, her mother agreed and sent Jin Na to deliver the message. When Jin Na told Runcheng that the president's wife wanted to meet her, Runcheng replied that she had someone important to see, which made Jin Na assume she was off meeting another woman. But in reality, Runcheng had gone to the airport to meet Uncle Shizhong, who had returned from abroad. He had secretly found information about Runcheng's long-lost mother and handed her the address. Though Runcheng claimed she had no intention of seeing the woman who abandoned her, she quietly went to her mother's restaurant. Seeing her mother's weary, aged face, countless emotions surged through her heart. She couldn't understand why her mother had been so cruel years ago. At that same time, Jin Na and her co-workers happened to come by. While getting some water, Jin Na suddenly noticed Runcheng sitting there. Pretending it was a coincidence, she smiled awkwardly and said she came because she saw online that the food there was good. She paid for the meal but didn't eat, simply turning to leave, behavior that puzzled everyone. None of them knew that the restaurant owner was actually Runcheng's mother. That night, Runcheng went to a bar, drowning her feelings in alcohol. Drunk and upset, she called Jin Na to drive her home. But due to traffic, Jin Na arrived a few minutes late and Runcheng began complaining nonstop. Irritated, Jin Na scolded her. "How can you be so rude? Do you talk to your parents like that too? You must have been spoiled since childhood." Her words hit a deep nerve. Runcheng stayed silent for a while and Jin Na realized she had unintentionally hurt her. Runcheng, just like herself, had grown up without love or care from her parents. Understanding her pain, Jin Na softly apologized and opened up about her own feelings too. "I don't really like you," she admitted gently, "but I like the way you smile." The next day at work, Jin Na suddenly received a court notice for a property seizure. After asking for leave, she hurried out. Concerned, Runcheng asked around and learned that Jin Na's house was about to be auctioned. Jin Na went to court begging for more time, but the staff said the buyer had already filed for compulsory enforcement, and unless the buyer agreed to cancel it, there was nothing they could do. Jin Na was told that unless the new property owner agreed to give her more time, there was nothing the court could do. So she went to the buyer herself, pleading for a short extension, but was mercilessly kicked out. Feeling utterly helpless, she stood there, unaware that Runcheng had been following her from afar the entire time. Seeing her situation, Runcheng called her, but Jin Na, trying to sound strong, picked up and lied that she was busy and couldn't come. Runcheng calmly said, "If you come within 30 minutes to drive me home, I'll erase your entire debt." With no other choice, Jin Na rushed over, but when she arrived, she found that Runcheng hadn't been drinking at all. She thought he was just toying with her and didn't care about her struggles at all. Hurt and disappointed, she argued with him, and the two parted unhappily. In truth, Runcheng had wanted to comfort her but chose the wrong way, which only made things worse. The next day at work, when they crossed paths, Jin Na deliberately ignored him. Clearly, she was still upset about last night. Later, while on duty guarding the presidential candidate, Jin Na had no idea that Runcheng discovered a hitman named Ji Fu preparing for an assassination. Knowing Ji Fu would stop at nothing, Runcheng urgently called to warn her, but she hesitated and tucked the phone away. Across the street, the sniper aimed his gun, ready to fire. But just as he pulled the trigger, the lights in the opposite building suddenly went out. The security officers quickly turned on their phones, telling everyone to hide under the tables. The assassin, unaware that his position had been compromised, was moments away from danger himself. As he squeezed the trigger, someone suddenly grabbed Jin Na and pulled her aside. It was Runcheng. He saved her, then quickly disappeared into the darkness, running toward the opposite building. Meanwhile, police reinforcements had arrived. Realizing he had missed his chance to shoot, Jifu tried to escape by elevator, but found it disabled. The entire building was already surrounded by SWAT officers. At that moment, the elevator ceiling burst open, and standing above was Runcheng. The two men climbed the cables to the top and escaped through a waiting getaway car. Back at the scene, Jin Na found a necklace that Runcheng had dropped. She realized that the assassin was actually his stepfather. During During the escape, the furious stepfather demanded to know why Run Chung had cut the hotel's power, ruining the perfect moment for revenge. Run Chung calmly replied, "Even if you killed him, what would it change? His crimes would still be buried forever. Is that the justice you want to see?" He promised his stepfather that he would expose their enemies' sins his own way, through truth, not blood. The next day at work, Run Chung ran into Jin Na again. Seeing the small medical patch on her cheek, he tried to show concern, but she coldly brushed him off, saying, "My face doesn't need your attention." It was clear she still hadn't forgiven him. Just then, someone handed her another letter. It was the final court order for her house. The property had been mortgaged to pay for her father's treatment, and if she didn't vacate soon, it would be forcibly repossessed. Run Chung happened to witness all this and quietly arranged for Uncle Shizhong to buy the house from her creditors at a high price, just to protect her from losing everything. When Jin Na found the buyer, she was stunned to learn that her house had actually been bought by Run Chung himself. Furious, she stormed off to confront him. Run Chung assumed she was there to thank him, but instead she hit him with angry questions. Why would he buy her house of all places? Why not stay in his own big villa instead of living in her rundown home? Calmly, Run Chung replied, "It's my money and my freedom to buy whatever I want. I don't need your permission, but if you ask me nicely, maybe I'll let you stay a bit longer." He had completely underestimated her. Jin Na glared at him and said firmly that she'd move out before the end of the day. Run Chung had only wanted to help her through this situation, but his poor choice of words backfired again, deepening their misunderstanding. While Jin Na packed her things, Run Chung grew uneasy and tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. Handing over her little dog, Xiao Hei, she asked him to take care of it until she found a new place. Then she turned and left. Watching her go, Run Chung felt reluctant and heartbroken. He even chased after the bus she took, begging her to get off, but she ignored him. The next day at work, Run Chung bought her coffee as a peace offering, hoping for forgiveness, but she refused to accept it. Back home, an idea struck him. Maybe he could use her beloved dog to bring her back. He messaged her and she rushed home, only to clean up Xiao Hei's mess. Run Chung teased, saying, "Either you come every day to take care of this or you take him with you." Jin Na replied coolly, "Once you have the money, buy the house back from me at the price I paid." Although the deal seemed fair, she still hesitated. After all, living under the same roof with a man didn't sit right with her. Seeing this, Run Chung said playfully, "Don't worry, I'm not interested in you that way. I'll just treat you as my tenant." His words oddly made sense, so she said she'd think about it. But Run Chung, ever the schemer, was eavesdropping outside her door the whole time. After thinking it through, Jin Na finally decided to stay, but only after setting strict ground rules. Run Chung agreed readily, secretly pleased that his plan had worked. At last, they were living together. That night, Run Chung went to a hotel on business and unexpectedly ran into his friend Shisi, who was drinking alone after a breakup. During their talk, Shisi accidentally spilled wine on Run Chung and insisted he come to his room to clean it and return the clothes later. Coincidentally, Jin Na was also at the same hotel, assigned to pick up a file for a security task. Her superior told her to go to room 1926, but by mistake, she knocked on room 1925. To her shock, the door opened, and standing there was Run Chung with another woman right behind him. The scene froze her in disbelief, the situation looking far too suggestive. Before anyone could explain, the door to 1926 opened, and Jin Na quickly grabbed the file and fled in embarrassment. Run Chung called her right away to explain, but she was furious and hung up before he could say a word. When he returned home, she deliberately ignored him and went straight to her room. After hearing his full explanation later, Jin Na finally realized she had misunderstood him. It was Jin Na who gently opened Run Chung's door that evening and called him out for dinner. Though he pretended to refuse with a calm face, inside he couldn't hide his quiet excitement. She told him the food came from the small eatery's owner, and that single sentence stunned Run Chung, because that woman was his own mother. When the two of them later went to return the food containers, his mother suddenly felt unwell. Run Chung quickly carried her home on his back. To thank Jin Na for helping, his mother handed her 2 bottles of tonic medicine with trembling hands. Looking at his mother's frail face, Run Chung felt a swirl of emotions, guilt, sorrow, and longing all at once. "You go first," he told Jin Na softly. "I'll come later." Then he walked alone to the lakeside, not wanting her to see him broken and sad. But Jin Na, understanding his pain, quietly followed him anyway. She could see through his silence. She too had grown up without a mother, and she knew exactly how heavy that loneliness felt. Trying to lift his spirits, Jin Na started singing softly beside him, teasing him playfully and even patting his shoulder. "Oh, our big baby had a tough day today," she laughed. "What are you doing?" he asked with a smile. And for the first time in a long while, he laughed genuinely. Sometime later, during her security duty, Jin Na caught the attention of the presidential candidate's arrogant son. He kept winking and flirting, but she ignored him. After her shift, while waiting for the bus, the same man drove by and offered her a ride home. Jin Na firmly refused, but he wouldn't take no for an answer and tried to force her into the car. Coincidentally, Uncle Shizhong happened to witness the scene and immediately called Run Chung. Without hesitation, Run Chung sped toward them. Just as the young man grabbed Jin Na's arm, Run Chung arrived, pulling her away. "She's my woman," he declared boldly. "Do you think I'd ever let her go with someone like you?" The other man sneered, "Oh, boyfriend, huh? You think I'll just walk away?" Run Chung shot back, "Go back to your father and tell him to pay his debts." With that, he confidently led Jin Na away. But the spoiled heir, who happened to be the presidential candidate's son, was humiliated and swore revenge. Although Run Chung had pretended to be Jin Na's boyfriend just to save her from trouble, she still thanked him sincerely for stepping in. However, their paths crossed again later at a nightclub, where Run Chung was accompanying the president's daughter. The same arrogant son appeared again, watching Jin Na with bad intentions. He swaggered over and wrapped his arm around her waist, but Jin Na instinctively pushed him off and resisted. When he asked her out and she refused again, he grabbed her hand aggressively, trying to drag her away, only for Run Chung to intervene once more. This time, the spoiled man's pride snapped. He dragged Run Chung outside and began beating him violently. Run Chung didn't fight back because he was secretly collecting evidence. Uncle Shuzhong, hidden nearby, captured everything on camera. As the assault got worse, the president's daughter, Do Hui, rushed to stop it but was shoved aside. Seeing this, the guards retaliated, and Jin Na herself threw the attacker hard to the ground, leaving him crying out in pain. Amid the chaos, Run Chung managed to slip away. Later at home, Jin Na looked at his bruised face. Anger and concern mixed inside her. She scolded him softly but still carefully applied fresh bandages to his wounds. What she didn't know was that all of this was part of Run Chung's revenge plan. His real target was the presidential candidate Xu Longsue, one of the people responsible for his father's death years ago. Using his position and connections, Xu Longsue had covered up the crime by claiming his son's health was failing. They used that flaw as a way to dodge military service. The next day, reporters in the Military Service Bureau came knocking and hauled that arrogant rich kid away, all thanks to Run Chung. But this was only part of her revenge plan. When Xu Longsue prepared to give a campaign speech, Run Chung was ready to move. Jin Na was assigned as security for the speech. Run Chung handed the pre-collected evidence on a USB drive to Uncle Shizhong, instructing him to sneak into the control room and plug the drive into the main system so Xu Longshue's corrupt deeds would be exposed to everyone. Run Chung himself would personally arrest Xu and take her to the prosecutor's office to face justice. Run Chung quietly neutralized the gate guard. As Xu Longxue was about to enter the stage, Run Chung ambushed and stunned her. At the same time, Uncle Shizhong successfully slipped into the control room, but his fake work pass gave him away. He hurriedly called Run Chung and told him to pull out. Jin Na found an unconscious guard and followed the stairwell, where she discovered Run Chung preparing to take Xu Longsui away. Run Chung never expected Jin Na to point a gun at him. She had no room to retreat. If her identity were exposed, the revenge plan would be ruined. Run Chung had no choice but to gamble everything. As he tried to escape, Jin Na fired a shot from behind. Using all his strength, Run Chung descended the rope and crashed to the ground. Then, gritting his teeth against the pain, got into a car and fled the scene. Run Chung slipped quietly into his friend Shirshi's clinic. Thanks to Shirshi's timely treatment, he pulled through. When Jin Na returned home and found Run Chung hadn't come back, she felt suddenly forlorn, replaying the day's events in her head. Little did she know she had been the one who shot him. The next day, when Jin Na noticed Run Chung hadn't come home overnight, she began to complain. On her way to work, she unexpectedly ran into Run Chung and Shirsi, which only deepened her misunderstanding. She spun away in a panic and accidentally bumped into a passerby. Run Chung saw her and noticed the clothes she had prepared for him. He understood her care and hurried to greet her, but Jin Na, still furious, shoved him hard to the ground. Run Chung didn't take offense. When he stood and asked her something, she blushed and hurried off. Though she didn't admit it aloud, Run Chung was certain she had begun to like him. After the previous revenge attempt failed, Run Chung and Deputy Ji and the others made a careful new plan to capture Xu Longxue. During a presidential candidates forum, Run Chung secretly placed tear gas into the control room. When the staff passed out, he broadcast Xu Longxue's embezzlement evidence to the public, instantly provoking an uproar among supporters. Xu Longxue panicked and signaled Jin Na and the security team to evacuate. As they tried to withdraw, Run Chung appeared to arrest Xu Longxue, but Jin Na, fulfilling her duty, once again pointed her weapon at Run Chung. At that moment, elite prosecutors arrived to take Xu Longxue into custody and told Jin Na to help detain her. In a desperate move, Xu Longxue suddenly snatched the gun from Jin Na's hand and used her as a hostage. Jin Na seized. Jin Na struggled desperately to break free, almost falling from the height, but Run Chung caught her just in time. Xu Longxue saw the chaos and fled in panic. Run Chung and the lead investigator ran up together, but instead of chasing after Xu, Run Chung used every ounce of his strength to grab hold of the rope and pull Jin Na up. His injured arm was bleeding heavily, yet he refused to let go. With sheer willpower and determination, he managed to haul her safely back up from the brink. As he turned to leave, Jin Na grabbed his hand, her eyes trembling with emotion. But Run Chung didn't reply. He simply pulled away and disappeared into the night. When he finally caught up to Xu Longsue, his stepfather had already subdued her. They escaped in a waiting vehicle and took Xu to a warehouse. Under his stepfather's brutal interrogation, Run Chung learned the shocking truth. Another key figure involved in his father's murder years ago was the former Minister of Education, Kim Jong-sik. Before they could dig deeper, a swarm of police arrived and surrounded the the area. Run Chung quickly released a smoke bomb he had prepared earlier, disorienting everyone, including his stepfather. By the time the police stormed in, Run Chung and his allies had vanished. Dressed as a paramedic, he personally delivered the corrupt Shu Long Shui to the prosecutor's office, ensuring she faced justice under the law. When his stepfather awoke, he realized he'd been deceived. Run Chung and Uncle Shujong had coordinated everything. Shu Long Shui was already in government custody. Furious, his stepfather lashed out, consumed by rage. His revenge had always been about blood for blood, but Run Cheng's decision to spare her ruined that. Because of Run Cheng's actions, Uncle Shujong had also paid a heavy price. To protect his mentor, Run Chung confronted his stepfather, and the two clashed bitterly over their opposing beliefs about vengeance. In the end, Run Chung openly declared war on him. Yet, what truly weighed on his heart was Jin Na's safety. He knew his stepfather would stop at nothing, even if it meant hurting her. He told Uncle Shujong that once he recovered, he would move out of Jin Na's home because that was the only way to protect her. Uncle Shujong, knowing how deeply Run Chung loved her, could only sigh with sympathy. Around that time, Jin Na called, asking with genuine concern about his injuries. But Run Chung answered coldly, speaking only a few curt words before hanging up. He knew he had to be cruel, or else she would suffer because of him. That night, Run Chung dreamt he had let go of Jin Na's hand, and he jolted awake in terror. Overcome by longing, he rushed to her house. At the same time, Jin Na couldn't sleep either. She tossed and turned, worried about him. Eventually, she went out to the balcony to stare into the night air. "I miss you. I'm so worried about you," she whispered. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out, "Jin Na, do you know what time it is? It's past 2 in the morning. The door is still open and you haven't even showered yet." Their conversation began like an argument, but was full of hidden care. Run Chung scolded her gently, saying, "Do you think I like being beaten up? I wasn't asleep. I was just worried about you." Jin Na's anger melted into emotion as she muttered, "Then why do you make people worry? Why didn't you answer my calls? You make me lose sleep. You make me mad. You care for others, but why do you always make me worry?" Run Chung listened quietly, his eyes soft. In that late-night breeze, their hearts finally began to speak the truth they had been denying, the truth of love that neither could keep hidden any longer. Run Chung spoke to Jin Na gently, telling her to take care of herself when she's alone at home, to be careful, to eat well, and not to live on kimchi just because she loves it so much. His warm and sincere words filled Jin Na's heart with quiet comfort. Then, pretending casually, Run Chung said he wanted to try the coffee she brewed. Jin Na's face lit up instantly, and she happily went to prepare it. But when she returned, he was already gone. Her heart sank in disappointment. She quickly called him, but he didn't pick up. Somewhere far away, he whispered to himself, "I'll protect you. You don't have to worry." Yet what he feared most soon became real. When he finally answered a call from Jin Na, it wasn't her voice. It was Ji-Fu's. Hearing that name, a chill ran down his spine. Ji-Fu asked bluntly, "Have you fallen in love with Jin Na?" Run Chung denied it instantly, but Ji-Fu didn't believe him. "Because of you," he said coldly, "Jin Na's life may end." Those words hit Run Chung like a thunderbolt. He knew his stepfather would never allow him to love anyone before his revenge was complete. Later, when Jin Na came out and warmly invited him to stay for dinner, he refused with icy indifference. His tone hurt her deeply, though she tried to hide it. Run Chung decided it was time to move out, the only way to keep her safe. That night, he and Uncle Shujong quietly packed his things, but Run Chung himself didn't leave immediately. He stayed behind, waiting one last time to say goodbye. When Jin Na came home, she found him asleep on the sofa. She didn't wake him. Instead, she quietly cooked dinner, then softly called him to eat, but he didn't move. Watching his sleeping face, flashes of faint memories passed through her mind. On impulse, she gently placed her hand over his mouth, and to her shock, something about that moment felt familiar, like a memory surfacing. Run Chung suddenly woke, realizing she might have discovered something. Without admitting anything, he stood up and told her calmly that he'd already moved his belongings out. He forced himself to say cruel words, claiming he was just a shallow man, that his feelings for her were nothing serious. "I'm not the type who loves deeply," he said coldly. "What we had, it was just fun." Then he turned away, leaving her standing there, heartbroken and speechless. But deep inside, he loved her deeply. He only pushed her away to protect her from his dangerous world. Later, when Jin Na walked into his now empty room, her heart filled with sorrow. Then she noticed a photo lying on the floor. Picking it up, she saw a woman, and suddenly the truth hit her. The woman in the photo was the same lady who owned the small eatery, the one who had been so kind to her. The way Run Chung had looked at that woman, that tenderness, it all made sense now. She realized the shop owner was his mother. The next day at work, Jin Na brought him coffee, hoping to bridge the distance between them, but he stayed cold and distant, even knocking the cup to the floor. Tears welled up in her eyes as she whispered, "Because I like you, Run Chung. No matter what you say, I like you." Run Chung replied harshly, "You're not my type." Jin Na smiled sadly, "I know I'm not your type, and you're not mine either, but still I like you. I can't stop thinking about you." Run Chung shook his head, calling her crazy, but she only smiled wider through her tears. "Maybe I am crazy," she said softly, "but I don't want to hide how I feel anymore." That night, as Run Chung sat at the table eating stir-fried glass noodles with pork, the taste immediately reminded him of her, because that had always been Jin Na's favorite dish. And though they were apart, every bite made him realize how deeply she had already become a part of his life. Thinking of Jin Na's favorite dish, the stir-fried noodles with pork, Run Chung Chung suddenly lost his appetite completely. At that moment, Jin Na received a text message from him. "Don't ignore me." Her heart leapt with happiness, and she rushed out excitedly to meet him. Passing by a cosmetics shop, she stopped for a free makeover, hoping to look her best. But the shop attendants exchanged judgmental looks, which made her feel awkward. She carefully checked her reflection in the mirror, wanting to leave Rune Cheng with a beautiful impression. However, the moment she finally saw him, her expression changed instantly. A woman in the backseat of his car was acting intimately with him. Shocked and angry, Jin Na slammed the brakes and stopped the car sharply. "Hey, can't you control yourself?" she scolded. "This man is a hotel guest. Do you even realize what you're doing? Behavior like this in a car could be considered assault." The woman ignored her, so Jin Na pulled her out of the car and told her to leave by taxi. Run Chung frowned and asked, half teasing, "Are you jealous? Is that why you're acting like this?" Jin Na replied firmly, "A woman like that isn't worth my jealousy. If you really want to push me away, then go find a decent woman, someone serious. Then I'll show you real jealousy. But don't waste your time and money on people like her. If your parents knew you were doing this, they'd be ashamed." She handed him back a photo she had kept. At that moment, Run Chung realized that she had figured out his mother's identity. In truth, he had asked her to come drive for him on purpose, hoping to create a misunderstanding and make her let go of her feelings for him. But instead, Jin Na's honesty and compassion hit him hard, and he couldn't help but worry for her even more. "Jin Na, how? Stop loving me. Please, stop loving me," he thought silently. Later, when Jin Na went to visit Run Chung's mother, the woman suddenly collapsed. Panicking, Jin Na called Run Chung again and again, but he didn't answer until Uncle Shizhong urged him to pick up. Upon hearing that his mother was in the hospital, Run Chung rushed there immediately. The doctor informed them that she was suffering from acute myeloid leukemia, and her condition was critical. A bone marrow transplant was urgently needed, or her life could end at any time. Run Chung stood frozen, devastated. Jin Na gently comforted him, urging him to get tested for a possible match. But Run Chung snapped, shouting that this was the same mother who had abandoned him long ago. Even so, Jin Na remained calm and patient beside him. "No matter what happened," she said softly, "a mother is still a mother. She's the one who brought you into this world." Her words sank deep into his heart, and for the first time, Run Chung's hatred began to soften. He arranged for his mother's hospital stay and agreed to a blood test. But just then, Prosecutor Ju, the sharp-eyed investigator, showed up, suspicious that Rune Chung was the elusive city hunter. Under the guise of official procedure, she took his blood sample for testing. Run Chung realized that if the results came out, his secret identity would be exposed, and his entire revenge plan would collapse. Determined to prevent that, he followed the prosecutor all the way to the exit, then disguised himself as a medic inside an ambulance, pretending to be a corpse. As the staff wheeled the stretcher into the morgue, Run Chung quietly slipped inside, ready to risk everything to erase the trail and protect his mission. After the staff left, Run Chung quietly unzipped the body bag and crawled out. Moving fast, she climbed to the rooftop, jumped down, caught the window ledge with her hands, slipped inside, and sabotaged the blood sample that could expose her identity. Just as she was about to leave, Prosecutor Ju appeared behind her. They were seconds away from running into each other when someone suddenly pulled Run Chung into a corner, saving her in the nick of time. The person who rescued her was Jin Na. Because of Jin Na's quick thinking, Run Chung's secret identity remained safe. Realizing this, Run Chung understood that Jin Na now knew she was the mysterious city hunter. She warned her coldly not to interfere again, but Jin Na refused to back down. After all, Run Chung had once saved her life. Still, Run Chung's tone grew sharper. She told Jin Na to stay away, to return to the peaceful life she had before meeting her. Her harshness came from love. She was trying to protect Jin Na from the danger surrounding her. Meanwhile, when the stepfather learned that Run Chung was trying to treat her mother, he stepped in. He offered to transfer the woman to another hospital and told her a devastating lie, that her son, Run Chung, was already dead. The woman, not knowing the truth, was heartbroken. The stepfather's true motive was to keep Run Chung's identity hidden and manipulate the grieving mother into helping with his revenge. He even stationed guards to watch her, but the clever woman tricked them and escaped. When Run Chung arrived at the hospital and found her mother missing, a nurse told her that the stepfather had been there earlier. She immediately assumed he had hidden her mother somewhere. The stepfather then used this to his advantage. He called Run Chung and claimed that he indeed had her mother. He threatened that if Run Chung didn't follow his orders for the revenge mission, she would lose both her mother and Jin Na forever. Run Chung, cornered and helpless, had no choice but to agree. She resigned from her position at the communications department. Before leaving, she handed the gift she had prepared for Jin Na to Guangzhu. But Guangzhu, being a careless fool, gave it to his girlfriend instead. Later, when he bragged about it, Jin Na overheard and found out about Run Chung's resignation. Heartbroken, she whispered to herself, "I'll forget everything. I'll go back to the day before I met you. I'll disappear from your life." Run Chung knew she had no other choice. To protect Jin Na, she had to stay away completely. Meanwhile, the stepfather set the next phase of his revenge into motion. He anonymously tipped off Prosecutor Ju, revealing that the city hunter's next target was the former Minister of Education, Kim Jong-shik. Prosecutor Zhu, shocked, questioned her father because he was Kim Jong-shik. He insisted he had done nothing nothing wrong, but she couldn't believe him. Every city hunter target so far had been guilty of serious crimes. The tension between father and daughter exploded, and they parted bitterly. Kim Jong-shik, a cunning old fox, quickly sensed the truth. He ordered his men to act first, capturing Uncle Shujong and knocking Jin Na unconscious. When Runchung saw the tracker's emergency signal flash, she knew something terrible had happened. She immediately infiltrated Kim Jong-shik's residence. Inside his office, she found a locked safe and began cracking the code. While elsewhere, Uncle Shujong awoke to find himself and Jin Na trapped together, fighting for a way out. Bound together in the dark room, Jin Na quickly came up with a plan. She turned her back and told Uncle Shujong to use his teeth to untie the rope. Once free, she pretended to need the restroom, then, taking advantage of the guard's distraction, struck back and knocked them both out. Meanwhile, hearing the alarms from outside, Runchung immediately prepared to withdraw, but unexpectedly ran into Jin Na and Uncle Shujong on his way out. After helping them escape to safety, Runchung told Uncle Shujong to take Jin Na away, while he went back inside to finish what he had started. He returned to Kim Jong-shik's office, realizing the safe might hold critical evidence. Quickly decoding the combination, he swung the door open. Inside was a mountain of cash, nearly 200 billion won, all stolen bribe money from Kim Jong-shik's corruption. Just as Runchung was about to leave, a guard outside fired a tranquilizer dart into him. The men began dragging him away, unaware that Jin Na, who had refused to leave out of worry, had been secretly following them. Hiding in the shadows, she watched as the unconscious Runchung was beaten brutally. Her heart pounded with rage and fear, but the enemies were too many. Uncle Shujong whispered that he'd go call for backup, urging her to stay hidden. But when the beating got worse, Jin Na could no longer bear it. She burst through the door and attacked the men head-on. The thugs, realizing they were losing control, drew their guns, aiming to kill Runchung. Seeing this, Jin Na rushed forward and took the bullet for him. That moment shattered Runchung's heart. Turning grief into fury, he grabbed a metal bucket and smashed it into their attackers, then threw punch after punch until none of them could stand. Trembling, he looked down at Jin Na, lying pale and bleeding in his arms. "Why did you come? You saved me. You shouldn't have," he muttered, voice breaking. Holding her tightly, he raced to Shirsi's clinic for help, but it was only an animal hospital. Because Jin Na had lost too much blood, she needed a transfusion fast. Without hesitation, Runchung stood up and said, "I'm type O. Use my blood. Save her." Thanks to his sacrifice, Jin Na survived. To take better care of her, Runchung brought her home. While chatting with Uncle Shujong later, they noticed a hidden camera inside the lamp. Runchung immediately realized it must have been planted by his stepfather. Furious, he went to confront him, and during their argument, he overheard the truth that destroyed him. He hadn't been abandoned by his mother after all. His stepfather had kidnapped him as a child for revenge and lied to his mother that he was dead, which caused her grief and disappearance. Runchung's anger boiled over. He couldn't believe how heartless and cruel his stepfather truly was. They fought bitterly, and Runchung left, filled with guilt and regret for never cherishing his mother when he finally found her. Soon after, he went to see Jin Na. She softly told him that it was time for them to say goodbye, but he pulled her into his arms from behind, refusing to let go. "Don't leave," he whispered. For the first time, he didn't try to hide his emotions. The walls between them crumbled, and after everything they had endured, the lies, the danger, and the heartbreak, they finally reunited, their love stronger and deeper than ever before. Their relationship slowly began to warm. Runchung not only helped Jin Na change her bandages, but also bought her new clothes and even carefully washed her hair for her. Caught up in the tenderness, Jin Na playfully teased him, and for a moment, the two were as happy as carefree children. Still, Runchung never stopped tracking Kim Jong-shik's movements. One day, his mother unexpectedly went to see that man, donating all her savings to him, without knowing he was a corrupt official. When Runchung recognized her voice over the wiretap, he rushed to find her but arrived too late, missing her by seconds. Kim Jong-shik, afraid that something might go wrong if the money stayed put, decided to secretly move the 200 billion won stash. Unaware he was being watched, he and his men began transferring the cash. Runchung struck first. He released smoke grenades to knock them out, discovered the hidden fortune in their truck, and packed the money according to the victims list. He then shipped each portion by courier to the families of the students Kim Jong-shik had ruined. The act caused a nationwide sensation. People called it justice finally served. Uncle Shujong, proud and relieved, suggested celebrating and sent Runchung and Jin Na out to buy groceries. As they left the supermarket, the glass door suddenly closed, separating them. A motorcycle roared toward them at full speed. Realizing the danger, Runchung smashed through the glass with a signboard and pulled Jin Na tightly into his arms. The rider was his stepfather. He raised his gun, aiming straight at them, but after a tense pause, he lowered it, issuing a warning instead. If Runchung continued to fall for Jin Na, she would be in mortal danger. But Jin Na didn't care. She loved him deeply and understood the risks tied to his revenge. She insisted on sharing the burden with him. Though Runchung tried to refuse, her determination left him no choice but to agree softly. Meanwhile, he asked Uncle Shujong to find his mother's whereabouts. When the old man reached her house, he found a letter from a place called Putuo Four Seasons, suggesting she was resting there. As Uncle Shujong prepared to meet Runchung, a speeding car suddenly hit him. It was another of the stepfather's traps. Furious, Runchung confronted his stepfather stepfather, demanding to know why. The man made it clear he wanted Run Chung to embrace vengeance without hesitation, but Run Chung stood firm. His form of revenge was justice, not blood. When Uncle Shujong later awoke, he revealed the mother's location, finally allowing mother and son to reunite. To protect her, Run Chung arranged for a doctor to create a new identity so she could stay hidden and safe. Just as peace seemed possible, a man named Chen Zaiwan appeared on television, publicly slandering Run Chung and Jin Na's relationship. He was one of the culprits behind Run Chung's father's murder. Determined to strike back, Run Chung infiltrated Chen Zaiwan's chemical plant to investigate, but he was discovered. His enemies released toxic gas to kill him. Though he narrowly escaped, his body suffered severe damage. The ordeal made him realize how dangerous his path had become and how much Jin Na meant to him. She was the one person he could never risk losing. Yet knowing the peril that followed him, Run Chung chose to face her once more, forcing himself to say the cruelest words he could, pushing her away to keep her alive, even though he knew it would break both their hearts. Run Chung knew there was no other choice. For Jin Na's happiness, he had to walk away. Around this time, while Jin Na was on duty protecting the president's daughter, someone deliberately caused a disturbance to expose their security position. Without hesitation, Jin Na threw herself in harm's way, shielding the girl and taking the full brunt of the danger. Run Chung witnessed the entire scene from afar, his heart tightening in panic and fear. He wanted to rush forward to comfort her, but she turned him away, refusing his concern. Her coldness left him devastated. Later, while wandering through the same park where he had first met Jin Na, Run Chung unexpectedly saw her again. He tried to avoid her, but she spotted him right away. Deep down, she still loved him, and she walked toward him, hoping to rebuild what they once had. But despite her sincerity, Run Chung forced himself to stay distant. He looked her in the eyes, his heart aching, and still rejected her. Jin Na stood there in silence, tears glimmering in her eyes while he walked away, hiding his pain behind a cold expression. But fate wasn't finished with them yet. Because of Run Cheng's continued investigation into Chen Zaiwan's corruption, the man ordered his assassins to strike. One night, a killer broke into Jin Na's home and took her hostage. Soon after, Run Chung received a call. The assassin demanded that he come alone, threatening Jin Na's life if he refused. Without hesitation, Run Chung agreed. When he arrived, he found Jin Na trapped in a large glass water tank, her wrists bound, the water level slowly rising. The assassin stepped out from the shadows, smirking, using her as leverage to force Run Chung to surrender. Run Chung dropped his guard, pretending to comply, but as he was beaten and restrained, he waited for the right moment. When the killer pressed a switch, the tank began flooding rapidly, and Jin Na's body sank underwater, struggling for breath. Desperate, Run Chung fought back with every ounce of strength he had, disarming the assassin and knocking him unconscious. He rushed to release the restraints and dove into the tank, dragging Jin Na up before she drowned. When she regained consciousness, she realized what he had risked for her. With tears streaming down her face, she told him she knew. She knew he loved her, no matter how hard he tried to hide it. She clung to him, begging him not to leave again. Meanwhile, Chen Zaiwan's men, realizing the mission had failed, decided to flee overseas. But Run Chung wasn't going to let him escape. He infiltrated the airport, slipped into the same elevator as Chen, and within moments took down his guards. He forced Chen into his car and dropped him right at the prosecutor's office gate. As he drove off, Prosecutor Jin Yingzhu suddenly appeared, tailing him. She sped up, overtook him, and forced his car to stop. She had finally confirmed that Run Chung was the city hunter. But instead of arresting him, she quietly told him to go. She knew he wasn't a criminal, but a vigilante who fought for justice when the law failed. However, before long, news came that Chen Zaiwan had somehow been released again. He called Run Chung personally, offering a deal. If Run Chung stopped pursuing him, he would hand over a classified document. Run Chung refused. Then, through the captured assassin, he learned something shocking. Chen had once ordered his men to find a woman named Lee Kyung-hee, claiming she was his trump card. The name hit Run Chung like lightning. Lee Kyung-hee was his mother. Determined to uncover the truth, he found one of his mother's old friends who tearfully revealed that years ago, she had become pregnant with another man's child before her marriage. That meant Run Chung's biological father was someone else entirely. Horrified and confused, Run Chung went to confront his mother, needing to know the truth about who he really was and what role that secret played in the web of revenge that had consumed all their lives. At last, Run Chung's mother revealed the truth she had kept buried for decades. Years ago, she had been closely related to the president's family, and she became pregnant with his child. When Chen Zaiwan discovered this, he feared that her relationship with the president would destroy the man's political career, so he threatened her into disappearing. Only now did Run Chung finally understand the mystery of his birth. The president himself was his biological father. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-shik had tracked down Chen Zaiwan's location and launched a mission to arrest him, but Chen's men were ruthless and heavily armed. A brutal firefight broke out, and prosecutor Jin Yingzhu was gravely wounded. Following her car's tracking data, Run Chung arrived at the scene. In an abandoned car yard, he discovered the classified file that Chen had once boasted about. As he was leaving, Chen suddenly appeared. Run Chung fought through his guards, defeating them all, but Chen managed to flee into the darkness. Moments later, Run Chung found Jin Yingzhu lying on the ground, barely alive, alive. With her last breath, she pleaded with him to bring every one of those corrupt men to justice. Then she lost consciousness, leaving Run Chung burning with purpose. Qian Zaiwan didn't get far. Before he could escape abroad, Run Chung's stepfather intercepted him and without hesitation, executed him on the spot. By the time Run Chung arrived, it was already too late. Inside the secret document, he uncovered the final truth. The entire conspiracy traced back to the president, the very man who was his own father. The final name on the revenge list was him. Determined to stop this madness, Run Chung confronted his stepfather, swearing he would not allow him to harm the president. But his stepfather, consumed by vengeance, had already made his move. He called the president and demanded a final meeting, a bloody reckoning to end everything. Run Chung, knowing what was about to happen, arrived first and positioned himself between them. Father and son faced each other at gunpoint, one blinded by rage, the other begging for peace. In a heartbreaking act of sacrifice, Run Chung lowered his weapon, telling his stepfather that if someone had to die, it would be him. He lifted the gun to his own chest, hoping his death would end the hatred once and for all. But before he could pull the trigger, the president appeared and shoved Jin Na aside, stepping forward to face his old enemy. The stepfather fired, and in that split second, Run Chung threw himself in front of the bullet. The shot pierced his body as Jin Na, crying out in agony, raised her own gun and shot the stepfather to stop him. The long chain of revenge was finally broken, but at the cost of Run Cheng's life. Afterward, Jin Na resigned from her position as a security officer. Heartbroken yet grateful for the memories they shared, she decided to travel to find peace. Just as she was about to leave, she caught sight of a familiar silhouette in the distance. Run Cheng, standing quietly beneath the sunlight, smiling at her. Perhaps in this final moment, all that remained for them was happiness. And may every pair of lovers in the world, no matter how broken or lost, one day find their way back to each other. And with that, this beautiful story come to an end.